The following program has been rated PG-13.
Shalom Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God on this Friday night Sabbath, and I am so glad to be back here with you tonight with my family, because we are going to finish what we started last week. Now remember, last week we went over Jacob and Esau, the beginning, right? So today I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission today. What is that mission? I am going to shut the mouths of some of these evil Israelites that's going around preaching this false doctrine. And that false doctrine is stating that the Arabs are the Edomites. Now, I know for many of you, you're probably like, what in the world am I talking about? But yes, that is an actual false doctrine that many Israelite camps are going around teaching. So, of course, what I am going to do, I'm going to slaughter that. I am going to slaughter that entire doctrine. I'm going to embarrass them, and I'm going to put them to shame. And just to let y'all know, I have invited several people to watch tonight, because it's these individuals who have actually reached out to me and asked me this here. And I told them I'm going to show them that this is a false doctrine. I'm going to slaughter it completely. So, of course, what I want you guys to do, I want you to open your Bibles to the 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha. Now, as y'all already know, I do not like going outside of the Bible. But tonight I'm going to have to. Why? Because there's a lot of ignorant people. They will not listen to the words of the Most High, so they like to listen to their God. They like to listen to that white man. They like to listen to Esau. So, not only am I going to slaughter that entire doctrine with the scriptures, but I am going to use Esau's literature. I'm going to use their things. Because they won't listen to the Most High, but they'll damn sure listen to Esau. They'll take Esau's word over anything. So I'm going to use both. And we're going to wrap this up here. And then next week, we're going to come to the conclusion of thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. But remember, last week we had to go through the history. So we're going to continue the history here today. And I'm going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that the Edomites are the Caucasians. All right? So the first verse I want you to open, I want you to go to 1 Corinthians. And we're going to start at chapter 14 and verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 33. And I want to come here because I want to make this very profound statement that the Most High said. Watch this. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Now we know who the saints are. The saints are the Israelites. That's us. But what did the Most High God say? He said he is not the author of confusion. The Most High make things very, very simple, which is exactly what I'm going to prove tonight. And like I said, you are going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you are going to know that Esau is the Caucasian. Okay? Now, let's go here. Like I said, I want to start this off just with the scriptures. Now, we've been over this before. I want you to go to Genesis chapter 25, verse 24. Genesis chapter 25, verse 24. And I want to start here. Now, we went over this last week. This is talking about Jacob and Esau when they were babies. Watch this. And when her days, her being Rebekah, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Now, really quick. Why did the Most High say when he came out, He came out red, all over like a hairy garment. Number one, that's their characteristics. Because when children of Esau are born, when white babies are born, they come out red. And many of them come out very hairy, like I just showed you. But let's talk about the Arab here for a second. Before we even talk about the Arab, let's continue talking about Esau here. Why is Esau red? Because the Most High removed their melanin. They are not melanated people. Arabs are. Arabs are melanated. There are Arabs the very same complexion as me. There's Arabs darker than me. So if we really wanted to stop it right there, we could. Because that right there just eliminates that entire theory that Esau are the Arabs. But of course, y'all know me better than that. Y'all know I'm not going to do that. Y'all know I'm about to have so much fun at the expense of these little evil Israelites going around preaching that false doctrine. All right, so I wanted to start it there so that we can get back into the groove about who Esau actually is. So now, I want you to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 16. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 16. Because I'm building something here, as y'all know, as I always do. Listen to this. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So what I want to take away from this entire verse right here, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. So what is the Most High God saying right there? The Most High is saying the very same people that was all the way back then are the very same people who are here today. And I wanted to establish that. So that by the time this is all over, you'll be like, oh, wow, that's exactly what the Most High God said. That's exactly what he said. So now we are about to go ahead and we are going to jump in to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Let's get ready to have some fun, Israel. I want you to go to Genesis chapter 36. This chapter right here is the generations of Esau. The generations. What does generations mean, Israel? Your lineage. Your ancestry. So the Most High God right here is giving you the ancestry of Esau, of Edom. So right now, we are about to get our sword out and we are going to slay this beast that wants to go around and preach the false doctrine that the Arabs are Esau. Let's start at verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Okay. Now we're talking about generations. We just said what the generations were. So now before we get into this here, I want you to go to Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. Remember, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. As you already know, as I love saying, no stones will be unturned. Watch this. Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So what are we taking away from that right there? That the generations, the pedigree, that's what generations are, pedigrees. It is determined by the house of the father. Why? because the man carries the seed, his sperm, his semen. That is going to play a very big part in all of this. And that is why I wanted to show you that, so you can see out of the mouth of the Most High, that is how he determines who the people are. The very same ones from all the way back then, all the way to right now. Generations, the sperm, the kindred, going all the way down and down and down to the generations. All the generations back then to the very generation right now. Now, let's go back to Genesis 36, chapter 1. Read it again real quick. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. I want y'all to pay very close attention to this next part, and of course I'm going to break it down. Esau took his wives. Let me stop for a second. His wives. Plural, multiple. Esau was a hoe all the way back then. Today, have you ever heard of a little something called polygamy? Where is that popular? From the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. The Mormons are the ones who believe in polygamy. And the Mormons are what? They are Edomites. So just like I told y'all last week, nothing changes. Just like the Most High said, all the people who were the ones back then are the same ones now. Esau loved polygamy back then, and he still loves it today. Let's continue. Verse 2. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholabama, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter. Wait a minute. Ishmael's daughter. For those of you that don't know, Ishmael is the father of the Arabs. So wait a second. How in the world could the Arabs be the father of Esau if Esau is marrying Ishmael's daughters? As you can already tell, that doesn't make any sense. Their theory does not make any sense. Why? Because these are two different seeds of men. Ishmael and Esau. So I can stop right there. That theory is smashed. But of course, you know I'm not going to. Now being that they mentioned Ishmael, but let me go ahead and finish reading this one out. And Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. So now that they mentioned Ishmael, guess what we got to do? We got to go read the history of Ishmael. And of course, as by now, y'all already went ahead and figured this out, but I want you to go to Genesis chapter 16. Genesis chapter 16. Like I said, their theory is already done. But like I said, you know me, I'm going to twist that knife. Watch this. Now, Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children. Let's stop for a second so I can explain this. Sarai and Abram are Sarah and Abraham. The Most High went ahead and changed their names later on. But this is who it's talking about. And this story, now remember, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Remember that. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Just planting a seed for you. I'm going to start again. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children. And she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. So what's happening right here? Abraham and Sarah, or I should say Abram and Sarai, they can't have any children right now. They can't have children. So they have a maid, a servant, an Egyptian woman by the name of Hagar. Verse 2. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. So, what is Sarai saying right now? She said, listen, I cannot bear any kids. I can't have your child. So I want you to take my servant, Abram, and lay with her so that y'all can produce a child and we can call it our own. Now, this was the problem because this went against the plan of the Most High, which we'll talk about. But as you see, Abram had absolutely no problem doing it. He didn't contest this at all. He did not contest this. You're going to find out why. Watch this. You're going to find out why. And it said that Abram hearkened unto his wife. Okay? Verse 3. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. So now what happened? So Sarai went and took her handmaid and took her to Abram and said, this is going to be your wife here. You're going to lay with her as your wife. Because remember, as we learned before, when you lay with a woman, that woman is your wife, according to the Most High. So this is what she did. And you're going to find out why this was a very bad idea. Verse 4. And he went unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. So what happened here now? What's going on now, Israel? So now, Sarai is jealous. She's mad. She's pissed because Abram went ahead and went in unto her and had a baby. Conceived. But this was Sarai, I gotta call it Sarai at this time now because the name weren't changed. But this was her idea. It was her idea. You sisters, y'all know that sometimes y'all will come up with an idea, whatever, and when it backfires, y'all get pissed. Y'all get mad. Now, I want y'all to understand this particular situation right here. So Sarai went and gave this woman to her husband, and he went ahead and he took it. He beat it so good, got her pregnant. And so now she's pissed because another woman laid with her man and had a baby. Nothing else is going to piss one of our sisters off more than that. I'm telling y'all, none of this changed. All this stuff is the same. And it said that she was despised in her eyes, meaning that she couldn't even look at her. Verse 5. And Sarai said unto Abram, listen what she said. My wrong be upon thee. She said, I was wrong. I have given my maid into thy bosom. I allowed my maid to lay her head on your bosom. And you know what she's talking about. You know what? I got to keep it PG. You know what I'm talking about. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. So right here, like I told y'all earlier, the Most High was not happy about this. And he was going to make her pay for what she did. Because the Most High told her that Sarai was going to have a baby. But she's up there in age. And she's like, the Most High don't know what he's talking about. Can you understand what the Most High was like? What? I told you that I was going to give you a baby. I do it on my time. I don't do it on yours. And you got the audacity to go and give your servant over to the man that I promised? Are you kidding? Are you crazy? And so he went ahead and put that hatred on her like that. Watch this. Verse 6. But Abram said unto Sarai, behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. So what's happening right here? So Abram is no fool. Abram is no fool at all. He said, wait a second. Oh. Wait a minute. All right, don't get mad at me. You told me to lay with her. So you can't bring no beef to me. But being that you are so mad at her, that's your servant. Go ahead and do whatever you want to her. If you want to go ahead and whoop that ass, whoop that ass. If you want to kill her. And that is exactly what Sarai set out to do. Dealt with her harshly. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. Hagar was probably fine as hell. Because there's nothing worse than a fine woman that has her husband's attention. And as Abram was like, yo, listen, yo, do with her whatever you want to. Yo, leave me out of it. I want nothing to do with that. I'm telling you, Abram was smart. He knew. That's why you sisters, sometimes y'all just gotta just sit back, be quiet, and let things happen according to the way that they're supposed to happen. All right? The Most High God told Sarai that he was going to go ahead and let them conceive, but it was going to be on his time, not hers. That right there shows the impatience in our sisters. And a lot of you sisters know that y'all have that. Y'all are very impatient. Just chill. Just relax. And let the Most High do his thing through your king. All right? Let's continue. All right, so now I'm going to read 6 again. But Abram said unto Sarai, behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. So Hagar was like, yo, I'm not dealing with this. I'm out. She bounced. She ran. She ran from an ass whooping. Verse 7. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Shur. So I want to make sure y'all pick up on that there. So now here it is, a servant that is running. And here comes an angel of the Lord interceding. Watch this. Verse 8. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence camest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. So the angel came down and was like, whoa, hey, where you coming from and where you going? And Hagar was like, I'm running from Sarai. All right, I'm running from her. Verse 9. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, return to thy mistress and submit thyself under her hands. So the angel was like, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. But I want to make sure y'all understand something here really quick on what's going on. I want y'all to understand the atmosphere. Here you have the Israelites that are in power. They have servants, right? But they're not the Israelites yet, but these are still the chosen people. That chosen line, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So here you have these servants who is an Egyptian. Who's an Egyptian? Remember how Israel had to become the servants of the Egyptians. But right now, during this time, the Egyptians are our slaves. Just like it's going to be in the kingdom. And do y'all remember when we went over this here in the kingdom, when we talked about that, when we are going to be in the actual 4 walls of the kingdom and everything, right? And remember, there were going to be angels that's going to be surrounding there. There's going to be angelic activity. Remember, I always tell y'all that the Most High God gives a precursor, a trailer to the way that life is going to be in the future for us. And here it is, right here in the book of Genesis, all the way from the beginning. Let's continue. Verse 10. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly. What seed? Remember, she's pregnant. She conceived with Abram's seed. that it shall not be numbered for multitude. What is he saying right here? The angel said that child that is in your stomach, he's going to have a nation of so many, you're not even going to be able to keep their numbers. Verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Now, let's go back here to verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael. Ishmael. This is Abraham's first son. His name is Ishmael. So, here is the dividing line right now. The dividing line. Because the seed of Esau comes from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Ishmael is a whole nother seed of man. A whole nother seed. That right there wipes out their theory again. This is strike 3, but we're going to continue going. But that right there 100% proves that the Arabs could not come from Esau, and Esau not from the Arabs. They are on two separate family lines. This is simple. Very, very simple. Now, I'm going to continue it with the next verse. Verse 12, and he will be a wild man. What does that mean? The Arabs, those radical Muslims, the ones that praise Allah, the ones that will go and strap a bomb to their chest and blow themselves up. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. That is not a characteristic of Esau. Esau will strap a bomb to you and blow you up, but he for damn sure ain't blowing himself up. Esau will put bombs in buildings and blow them up. The Arabs won't do that. They give praise to Allah. Y'all already know. This ain't no racism. Y'all know what they do. But I'm saying all of this here to show you that these are not the characteristics of them. These are not their fruits, so to speak. Let's continue. Listen to this part right here. And every man's hand against him. This is talking about Ishmael, the Arabs. Every man's hand against him. Every nation in the world has their hand against the Ishmaelites. Why? Because of that little land over there called Palestine, Israel, Jerusalem, that whole area right there that the world has been fighting for forever. Our land, the land of the Israelites, what belongs to us. And everybody has been trying to get real estate in that land over there. Let's continue. Continue. And every man's hands against him. That does not sound like Edomites. There's nobody against the Edomites. The world collectively tries to be on the best side of Edom. England, France, all of Europe, the daughters of Babylon, America. Everybody tries to unite with America. These, what they called the, not the United Nations, what are they called? I forgot the term that they're called or whatever, but all of the world, China, Japan, Moab and Ammon and all the other rest of them, always try to link to the Edomites. Just like we read before. Just like we read before. No difference. Now, let's go back. Now we're going to go back to, as a matter of fact, hold on a second. Let's go to Genesis chapter 21. Let's go there. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 21, and we are going to start at verse 1. I'm telling you, like I said, no stones unturned. I want to read this here for you. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, who Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And I wanted to come here to show you that there was another child that was born. Another child. The chosen child. Isaac. The father of Jacob and Esau. The father of Jacob and Esau. So, if the father of the Arabs is Ishmael, how in the world could Esau come from that line? It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's a false doctrine. It tells you right here. Point blank and simple. They were rejected a whole generation prior. Watch. Now go down to verse 9. Go down to verse 9. I'm going to show you what Sarah did to that Egyptian and her son. Watch this. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which was her maid, remember? Which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. So Ishmael was mocking Isaac. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. She said, get her and that little nigga the hell up out of here. Cast them out. Get them out. I don't want them here. This is an entire generation before. Now remember, Isaac is only a baby. And Esau comes from Isaac, not Ishmael. Their doctrine is already done, but let's continue though. And the thing, verse 11. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. So Abraham was like, yo, that's my son. But you know what? I'm not dealing with this chick. I'm not dealing with this black woman. All right, y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. Bye. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, meaning the little boy, meaning Ishmael. And because of thy bondwoman, in all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. There's the promise. So the Most High told Abraham, he said, listen to what your wife is telling you. Do what she's saying here right now. Because the promise is not in Ishmael. The promise is in Isaac. This son, the one that I told you to wait for. Verse 13. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. So the Most High told Abraham, yo, listen, I'm going to make a nation out of Ishmael. Do you know what they're called today? They're called Arabs. This son of Abraham and this Egyptian. That's why the Arabs look the way that they do. That is why they favor us a little bit in there, but not entirely. Why? Because they have that Egyptian blood, the sons of Ham. We are the sons of Shem. We are Shemitic, not Hamitic. This is easy, Israel. This is so easy. Now, let's go back to Genesis 36. Let's go back. And we left off at 3 because we had to speak about Ishmael. I'm going to read it there. And Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. Like I said, we just went over that. That's why I had to go there and show you. Verse 4. Watch this. This is easy. And Adah bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Bashemath bare Ruel. And Aholabama bare Jush, and Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. Now, verse 2 in Genesis 36 talks about the daughters. Now it's talking about the sons. Do you see how it made the separation there? The Most High doesn't leave anything to chance. He makes it very simple. Remember, he is not the author of confusion. If you only took the time to study and stop listening to just what people tell you. All right, verse 6. And Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all his beasts and all his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. What happened here? So now, like we talked about last week, Esau has that hatred for his brother Jacob, that evil, burning desire. Remember when Rebecca said that it was a comfort in him to hate his brother? Remember that? So Esau is just so, he's so disgusted with the sight of his brother's face. He's like, I got to get the hell away from Jacob. I'm going to get away from him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up all my things. I'm going to take my family and we are going to go into the country. We're going to go in the country because I don't want to see you. Does it not still happen to where the Caucasians, who are the Edomites, they will go out into the country or the little vast areas there of the city and make their own communities? And what else will they do? They will have patrolling officers that circulate that city to keep us niggas out. As I said before, the same people all the way back then are the same people right now. The Arabs, they don't do that. They have their own land, like we read earlier when it said that they are going to be amongst their brethren. They stay over there. Esau is everywhere, just like the promise that Isaac gave him. Remember, the dude, he was going to be all over the place. You can't get around his word. You can't. No matter how hard you try, you cannot. Verse 7. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together, and the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. Verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Now, what is it talking about now? Now it's talking about Esau going up in the mountains. Remember, he went to the country, but now he wants to take his family and live in the mountains. Let's continue. Oh, let's continue. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So now the Most High is showing you that these Edomites went up into the mountains, up into the caves. Watch this. These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau. Ruel, the son of Bashemath, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Taman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. Who is Amalek? The Amalekites. The white boy Jews. Them Jewish boys. The ones with the Luther Vandross curls and the little black pimp hats. Those Caucasians. Those people from the Caucasus Mountains. The Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. Where the Edomites spread their families all throughout Mount Seir, all throughout the Caspian Sea. They tell you who they are, Israel. This is easy if you just read. If you just read. Now I'm about to hit him with the two-piece. Jump down to verse 15. Go to verse 15. Israel, watch this. These were the dukes. And I want you to remember the dukes. These were the dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau, Duke Taman, Duke Omar, Duke Zepho, Duke Kenaz, Duke Korah, Duke Gatam, Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Adah. The dukes is what I want you to remember. The dukes. Jump down to verse 40. Because if you want to go ahead and continue reading, you go right ahead and continue reading. This is the lineage, the generations of Esau. But I want to wrap this up here. Verse 40. And these are the names of the dukes that came of Esau according to their families. Their families, Israel, their families. After their places by their names, Duke Timnah, Duke Alva, Duke Jetheth, Duke Aholabama, Duke Elah, Duke Panan, Duke Kenaz, Duke Taman, Duke Mibzar, Duke Magdiel, Duke Aram. These be the dukes of Edom according to their habitations in the land of their possession. He is Esau, the father of the Edomites. Now, Israel, I got a question for you. The Most High went ahead and continuously said all the way from verse 15 and continued it all the way down to verse 40 until it was done. The dukes, Israel, the dukes. Do the dukes still exist today? And remember what the Most High said, their families, their lineage. I'm about to have so much fun right here. I'm about to have so much fun. I can't. Oh, watch this, Israel. Watch this right here. Watch this, Israel. I'm going to read something here to you. A royal duke is a duke who is a member of the British royal family. British Edomites. Entitled to the style of His Royal Highness, the current royal dukedoms are in order of precedence of their holders, that is, not in order of precedence of the dukedoms themselves. Israel, watch this. Duke of Lancaster, held by Elizabeth II, Queen Elizabeth. Duke of Edinburgh, held by Prince Philip. Duke of Cornwall, England. Duke of Rothesay, Scotland, held by Prince Charles, Prince of Wales. Duke of Cambridge, held by Prince William. Duke of Sussex, held by Prince Harry. Duke of York, held by Prince Andrew. Duke of Gloucester, held by Prince Richard. Duke of Kent, held by Prince Edward, who should not be confused with Earl of Wessex, Israel. Israel, how easy is this? The Most High God just went ahead and showed you their lineage. Are those Arabs? Or are those not white men and white women? What did the Most High God tell us, Israel? The Dukes go all the way back to Esau. To Esau. That is their family. That is their lineage. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 16. The very same people that were all the way back then are the very same people they are today. And this is why I love the Most High God so much, because he went ahead and made it so simple. He said the very same people all the way back then, I'm going to keep that same thing going. These are white people. These are Caucasians. Edom are the Caucasians. Esau is the father of the Caucasians, not the Arabs. Simple. Simple. So to every last one of you evil Israelites out there pumping that false doctrine, I'm telling you right now, you have such a price to pay for calling the Most High God a liar. Do you understand me? You understand what I'm telling you? This is so easy and it's so matter of fact. It is so point blank. But Israel, guess what? I'm not done. Not done yet. Not done. Now I'm going to read you something. And why now I have to go outside of the scriptures. And I hate doing this, but these evil niggas will not believe what the Most High God will say. They want to believe their God, which is that white man. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this. Watch this. I'm going to read this to you. I'm about to speak about the three most famous Edomites in the Bible. Herod, King Agrippa, and Agrippa II. This right here is Edomite literature. Watch this. I'm going to read this to you. And of course, I'm going to leave all the links right down in the description so that you can go and look at it yourself. Title: Herod the Great and Edomite rules Palestine. Herod the Great was born in the land of Idumea or Edom around 74 BC, which is about when he appears in the Bible timeline chart. He was the son of Antipater of Idumean, who was a high-ranking official for Hyrcanus II. Herod was an Edomite. I'm going to read that again. Herod was an Edomite that had adopted the customs of the Jews. In the past, the Edomites were ancient enemies of the Jewish people, but they no longer were relevant as a people during this era. Many of the Edomites were absorbed into other cultures of the time. The Jews had conquered these people around 140 BC and forced many of them to accept their religion or leave the region. Though many Jewish people didn't care for foreigners worshiping God and adopting their customs, Herod was made governor of Judea when he was 25 years old. Now, let me stop for a second. Do you clearly see how these Edomites are going ahead and telling you that they are Caucasians? This is easy. But there is a lesson that I did, the Vocab Malone lesson, where I go into this in depth. And I want you guys, if you haven't watched it, do some homework and go watch that one, because it's all going to tie into this one here. Let me continue. Hyrcanus II was king of Judea during this era in Jewish history, and his throne was usurped by his nephew, Antigonus. Herod lost his power as governor, and he fled to Rome. And he fled to Rome to appeal for help. The Roman Senate supported his cause and ended up making him the new Jewish king. Herod went back to Judah in 39 BC and married Antigonus' niece so that he could have some legitimacy to the throne and the Jewish people. He had to end up banishing his wife Doris and their son to pull this off. In 36 BC, Herod defeated Antigonus and was finally able to claim the throne. That's Edomite literature. This is written by Caucasians right here. So, not only is the Most High telling you that Edomites are the Caucasians, but Caucasians are telling you that they are the Edomites. But you can't tell Nookers nothing. They don't want to hear it from the Most High, but they'll damn sure listen to their white God. Now watch this. Let me read another one here about the Herodian dynasty, the dynasty of King Herod. Watch this. The Herodian dynasty was a royal dynasty of Idumean Edomite descent ruling the Herodian kingdom and later the Herodian tetrarchy as vassals of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire. Y'all know what the people of the city of Rome look like today. They're white people. The Herodian dynasty began with Herod the Great, who we just read about, who assumed the throne of Judea with Roman support, bringing down the century-long Hasmonean kingdom. His kingdom lasted until his death in 4 BCE, when it was divided between his sons as a tetrarchy, which lasted for about 10 years. Most of those tetrarchies, including Judea proper, were incorporated into Judea province from 6 CE, though limited Herodian de facto kingship continued until Agrippa the First's death in 44 CE. And the nominal title of kingship continued until 92 CE, when the last Herodian monarch, Agrippa II, died and Rome assumed full power over his de jure domain. Israel. How easy is this? These good white folks are sitting there telling you that they are the Edomites. They know who they are. They know exactly who they are. But you got these evil Israelites who would want to sit there and put forth this false doctrine that the Arabs are the Edomites. They're stupid. They're dumb. They're idiots. They're evil. They actually have the balls, the cojones, to call the Most High a liar. I'm telling y'all right now, I don't want to even want to face nothing near a judgment like that. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm letting y'all know, that is not a game that you need to play. You do not need to be involved in anyone who will sit there and tell you that the Most High God is a liar. And I know a lot of y'all try to go out there and do this research or whatever, and y'all be listening to these other camps. Y'all better stop listening to everybody. I'm telling you right now, y'all better stop. You better get into what these scriptures say. What did the Most High say? Study to show thyself approved. Study. Study. And do it from a reputable source. I bring you the scriptures. I hate going outside, but guess what? Sometimes you really just don't have much of a choice. Israel, I'm telling y'all, yo, niggas are crazy. Niggas are crazy. And y'all better stop listening to everybody. I'm telling you right now. And for those of you that I invited here tonight, as you can see, I slaughtered, dismantled, killed that entire theory. And I really hope that you don't go back following that nonsense. Israel, do y'all see how easy that was? All this took was studying and application. Study to show thyself approved. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Do y'all know why these evil Israelites, why they are so adamant about pumping that false doctrine about Arabs being the Edomites? You know why? Because they are so afraid to give up their master. They are so afraid. They cannot give up Becky and Skip. They don't want to. They're not willing to. They don't want to do it. You know, they are suffering from a major case of Stockholm Syndrome. That's why. And it's both king and queen, prince and princess. And they would much rather listen to some false evil doctrine to have their ears tickled versus do what the Most High told them to do. They would much rather listen to a man and call God a liar. That's madness. That is exactly what the Most High said he was going to put on our people. Madness. All of this insurmountable amount of evidence, and they will still go out and claim that lie. But I'm telling you right now, do you know why? You know why a lot of brothers do this here? You know why? A lot of brothers, they don't want to give up Becky. And you know why they don't want to give up Becky? Because Becky is a damn freak. Becky is freak nasty nasty. And these brothers, they don't want to give that up. Oh no. Because Becky will let them do things that you sisters just will not tolerate at all. And you know it's true. You know it. I'm telling y'all. This evil. All of this here has to stem from lust. Lust. That's all it is. Because you sisters are not going to deal with some of these things that these brothers have. I'm telling y'all right now, a lot of these brothers, these brothers are crazy. They sick. They sick in their mind. The things that they want done to them, Becky will go ahead and accommodate. A lot of the things that Skip will do. A lot of the things these sisters, a lot of you sisters, you Edomite lovers, y'all are not as out with it as the brothers are, but there's a lot of you sisters that are Edomite lovers, and y'all love y'all some Skip. Love them. Y'all know it's true. As y'all already know, I'm going to say the things here that everyone else won't say. I'm going to say it. And for you brothers, oh my gosh, y'all get on my nerves. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all get on my damn nerves. Y'all are supposed to be the leaders, the kings, the princes, leading our people into the kingdom. But you will much rather just forget all of that, call God a liar, be freak nasty nasty with Becky there, and just forget about everybody. But Israel, that's what happens. That's what they do. This is why the Most High said, 2/3 he is destroying. 2/3 he is destroying. And it's going to be the 1/3 of us that will actually have some common sense. A person with one brain cell is better off than an evil Israelite. I'm telling you. Now, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up now. We're going to go ahead. We're going to play Maury. Why? Why are we going to play Maury? Why are we going to play You Are Not the Father? Because as we went through all of this, we can go ahead and wrap this up right now because the DNA results are in. They're in right here. And I got the damn, I got it right here for us. What does it say right here? Right here. Playing Maury. In the case of the little evil ass red baby named Esau. And Israel, I want you to say this with me. Ishmael, you are not the father. That's done. Finish. Out of the park. Destroyed. Slayed. I don't ever want anybody ever coming up to me and telling me anything else about the damn Arab being Esau. What is wrong with you? And I'm telling y'all right now, this is something that y'all need to spread because that doctrine is making its rounds. They are going deep with that doctrine and it needs to stop. This is where you come in, Israel. You are the vessels for this truth getting out even further. I'm telling y'all, you have your part to play in this. Do your part, Israel. You can't be silent. You can't just watch this and sit on it. No, this needs to spread. Whether it be through me, whether it be through any of the other camps, the ones who are legitimately doing what the Most High tell them to do and pumping this truth. Y'all understand that, right? You have your part to do. Please, Israel, do your part. All right? So, Israel, I am so glad that y'all was able to sit here with me today and learn exactly, without a shadow of a doubt, who the Edomites are. But next week, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap all this up. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. But remember, I had to take y'all through this here. We did the history last week. We continue with the history and the identification today. And next week, we're going to wrap it up. And you're going to find out why the Most High said that statement. And you are going to know without a shadow of a doubt what it really means and what it means to you today. All right? Israel, with that being said, I love y'all so much. I'm out.